You know, we all dream of this beautiful, comfortable retirement. But what if I told you that the one thing we instinctively do to protect our savings could actually be the biggest mistake we make? Today, we're going to dive into some really simple math that can literally add decades to your financial well-being and really give you that deep sense of clarity and confidence for all the years ahead. So, when we think about protecting everything we've worked for, what's that gut feeling? It's to seek safety, right? To pull back, maybe put it all in the bank. It just feels so responsible. But here's the thing, that exact instinct, it's been called the single biggest threat to your retirement. It's a really powerful idea, and honestly, it's the key to everything we're about to unpack together.
Okay, so first, let's just acknowledge that feeling, that fear of running out of money in retirement. It is completely 100% normal. I mean, it's one of the top concerns that financial advisors hear about all the time. And you know what? It comes from such a good place. It's born from this desire to protect everything you've worked so incredibly hard to build. And that desire, it naturally leads to this thought that sounds so logical. Okay, I did it. I reached my goal. Now it's time to move my money somewhere it can't lose value. You know, the bank, a money market. It feels so responsible, doesn't it? It feels safe. But that right there is the exact intuition we really need to question.
And this is where things get so fascinating, for me at least. It brings us to what's called the safety paradox. It's this totally counterintuitive idea that the one thing that feels the absolute safest, holding on to cash, could actually be the single biggest risk to having a long, truly comfortable retirement.
So let's just reframe this whole problem. Let's ask a question. What if that safe choice doesn't just mean you get lower returns? What if it actually guarantees that you'll run out of money sooner, way sooner than you have to? To really find the answer, we have to move past our feelings for a moment and just look at the simple numbers.
And listen, this isn't about some kind of crazy, complex financial modeling. Not at all. We're talking about really simple, elegant math that just reveals a clear path forward. This is where we find that genuine confidence, the kind that's grounded in data, not in fear.
Okay, so think of it like this. There are two paths you can take. On one side, you have your money continuing to work for you. A balanced portfolio, earning what's been a pretty typical average. It's active, it's a living fund. Then on the other side, you've got your money just sitting in cash. It's barely earning anything, maybe not even keeping up with inflation. It's not working. It's just waiting to be spent, one withdrawal at a time.
And this is the result. This is what happens when you actually apply those two strategies. We're talking about the exact same $1 million portfolio, the same 4% withdrawal rate. The only thing that's different is the approach. Look at that. Staying invested could add over 15 years to the life of your money. I mean, that's the difference between your money lasting well into your 90s or potentially running out in your late 70s. It just so clearly shows the hidden cost of choosing what feels safe over what is actually productive.
Okay, but I know what you're thinking, and it's exactly the right question to be asking right now. Sure, that works for averages, but what about a market crash? What about all the risk? It is such a valid concern. And the good news is, the data has a really, really clear answer for that too. So what you're seeing here, this is based on 10,000 different simulations. It's not just the good times, it accounts for all the ups and downs. So just focus on that 30-year column. That's a pretty standard retirement time frame, right? If you stay invested, you have an 89% chance that your money's going to last. Now, look over at the cash option. The probability isn't just low. It's not just risky. It is 0.
Let that sink in for a second. The crucial takeaway is this. Based on all of these simulations, the probability of your money lasting for a 30-year retirement while just sitting in cash is 0%. Not just unlikely, 0. So the very strategy that feels the safest actually guarantees the exact outcome that we all fear the most.
So, okay, what do we do with this information? Well, the first thing is we don't act impulsively. We just create a simple, conscious plan. Let's call it a protocol. A way to turn this math into genuine, real peace of mind.
And the protocol is beautifully simple. Step 1, you keep a cash buffer, say 3 to 6 months of your expenses, just in cash. This is your shield. It's what protects you from ever having to sell investments at a bad time. Step 2, you just commit. You commit to not moving your long-term retirement money into cash. The data is it's too clear. And finally, step 3, if you do have some capital sitting on the sidelines, it's just time for a gentle review of your plan. Not to panic, but just to consciously make sure your strategy aligns with this math of longevity.
You see, ultimately, this is about so much more than just investment tactics. This is really about redefining what financial wellness, what it truly means in retirement. And it asks us to shift our mindset, to move away from a place of fear and toward one of real confidence. Confidence that comes from a clear-eyed view of how wealth is actually preserved over many, many decades.
And this really is the new definition we should embrace. Safe isn't some low, fixed number sitting in a bank account, slowly getting eaten away by inflation. No, true safety, that means creating a plan that gives you the highest possible chance that your money will last as long as you do, and maybe even beyond.
And look, if you still feel a little hesitant, that's okay. But just look at the long arc of history. Markets have managed to grow wealth through literally every crisis you can imagine. We're talking World Wars, the Cold War, 9/11, the 2008 crisis. I mean, even if you had the worst timing ever and invested during the absolute worst 30-year period in U.S. history, your returns would have still been so much better than cash. The lesson history teaches us is simple and it's unwavering. Panic has never, ever been the right long-term call.
So I'd like to leave you with one final thought to just reflect on. When you have a quiet moment, just ask yourself, is my definition of safe, is it truly serving my long-term well-being? Is it actually protecting me, or is it quietly costing me the one thing I can never, ever get back? And that's time.